month. Now, The Athletic added a new wrinkle to this story, ready? None of it came as a surprise to the front office or coaches, even though Saleh called it a, quote, unexcused absence in the press conference. Now, Rodgers went to Saleh after that to question why he would call it unexcused. According to Diana Rossini, the head coach and his quarterback ironed things out and, quote, everything's great now.
There it is.
Bro.
So what are we talking about?
You got to be kidding me.
She said everything's great.
That means everything's not great. That's obviously. I had a fight with your wife. How is it? Everything's great now. I'm like, well, oh boy.
That's how it happens.
No.
You have your argument.
You
Classic
said it.
one.
Classic one.
Classic
I said this is exactly what would happen the day we saw Bob Saleh say unexcused, that Aaron Rodgers was going to be pissed about it and we were going to find out about it through the media. That has already happened. So now, why does Bobby Saleh have his job?
What? I was just about to say, this is subtle disrespect.
What do you mean?
Bob Saleh. Now
Rob
Bobby?
Saleh?
Bobby Saleh now? I mean,
What, Big
his
Rob
name
Saleh,
is
Bob
Robert.
Saleh, Bobby Saleh.
Robert
I don't know.
Saleh.
I'm being too familial. I don't know.
Yeah.
I call you're called Brew.
You're poking him.
I don't
You're
mean to do
poking
it.
him.
I don't mean to do that at all. Okay, if you guys would, Big Robert Saleh.
Bobby Saleh.
But why does he have his job?
He's a good defensive coordinator.
No.
Yeah, he's
No, that's why he got the job.
Okay.
Why does he still have the job?
Well, he got a mulligan last year.
Well, I think it's because Rodgers, theoretically, he's got the support of Rodgers.
So you think he'd have been
sure.
fired? He's only been there 3 years.
Yeah,
and
and
he's
they've
done
been
better.
terrible. They've won, I think, 2 divisional games.
They
and
stay terrible.
Right.
He's been better than his two predecessors.
Okay,
I mean, really, Bowles and Gase.
Yeah, and how long did those guys get? I do think Bowles made the. Did Bowles make the playoffs?
His first year they made the.
Yeah,
but
okay.
then
So he hasn't been better than
5
Bowles,
wins, the
and
rest-
everyone's better than Gase. And so, but regardless.
And he's had the worst quarterback play in the league.
It's some of that of his own doing, but regardless,
Really? Yeah. So
I
you're
am
a Zach Wilson believer?
I am officially putting Robbie Saleh on the hot seat.
Oh!
Because here is this to me is now, because there is a very interesting Rodgers quote, because this story theoretically is actually about, it's a Nat Hackett, not hit piece, but the story is about them trying to replace Nat Hackett.
Right.
Is Nat okay, or do you call him Nathaniel? Is that, everybody was fine with that disrespect?
Hold on.
Nate Hackett, Nat Hackett, but all of a sudden we're all defensive of Robert Saleh.
3 versions of Robert.
Well, I don't know which one he likes.
He likes Robert.
Okay, sorry, then I'll go with that. Here in that story was a quote from Rodgers to Adam Shine from May about Nathaniel Hackett. You should trust me, and I trust Nathaniel. So to me, that's end of story. There's been a lot of BS that's been said out there. There's a lot of things that have gone on the last couple of years that he's dealt with that I think he's handled very professionally. He goes on. At the end of the day, I think you got to trust his and my working relationship and the conversations that we have. You got to trust the staff. I think that whatever trust Rodgers has in Saleh was fractured a bit by the unexcused thing. So I want to show you the Jets' schedule. I want to ask you a question. I think all of us think it's more than on the board they lose to the Niners in week 1. That is on a Monday night. They should win at Tennessee, but that's a short week. If they were to lose that game, and then that week 3 against the Patriots game is a Thursday game. So back-to-back games on a short week. You then have extended rest before, what was that be? Oh, wait, the Nat Hackett Bowl. I'm sorry, Nathaniel. Are you telling me if the New York Jets, with all this expectation, with already this little excuse-unexcused thing, were to start 0-3, you couldn't see interim head coach, triumphant return against Denver for Nat Hackett?
Not against Denver.
No.
I would
Why
let
not?
that one slide.
Well,
And I don't think
one
3
more.
Look, of course, if you lose enough games, anybody, or anybody that's not a sport church.
Including
I think 3
losing
is
to the
too early.
lowly Patriots.
Well, here's what I'm saying. Because you're basically saying Saleh is on the hot seat.
I think Saleh's a decent bet for first coach fire.
Okay, I totally disagree. Because put that schedule back up.
Please.
They should start. They're going to lose to the Niners.
Yep.
But they could start 4-1.
Okay,
now,
well,
I'm going to say at worst, they'll be 3-2. At worst, they'll be 3-2. If they're 2-3, that's not good because the schedule's going to get tougher. All right, but I'm just saying, I think they're going to start 3-2, 4-1. Saleh will be fine. Now, look, the way he handled it was wrong.
The way
right?
Saleh handled it?
Not just him. Well, look, the Jets in general. But if you knew weeks in advance, and I guess Saleh was holding out hope that Aaron will show up, but at some point you knew he's not coming. Get out in front of it and say, look, Aaron's been here for all the voluntary workouts. He's obviously all in. He's going to miss the 2 days of minicamp. We've talked to him. It's something he had planned before. Now, the New York media still digs a little, but for the most part, you kill it. It's not as nearly as big as it was. So they made a misstep in that. But this is where I really disagree with you. I don't think Saleh's been a bad coach because it's hard to tell because defense is his calling card.
It's not hard to tell his win-loss record. That's how you tell with the head coach.
Look, the legendary all-time great coaches go somewhere and turn it around immediately. But generally, even they have a competent quarterback. He has not had competent quarterback play.
True.
And they did start in 2022 with Zach Wilson at QB. Started 5-2.
And how'd they finish?
And Breece Hall got hurt. They were a run team. Breece Hall gets hurt, and they go down from there. I'm just saying 7 wins, and I've rattled it off many a times. Houston, Philadelphia, Buffalo. He beat them with Zach freaking Wilson.
The reason you can rattle it off is because those are their only good wins. And then you add Green Bay a year
with
before.
A terrible quarterback. You're not even supposed to have one good win.
Bro, it is not a one-on-one sport. If you have a great defense with good coaching and good special teams, you are supposed to have good wins.
What team does that?
What do you mean?
Can you name one right now?
Yeah, the Indianapolis Colts last year. The Colts last year that were
How many games they win?
9, and they were playing for the playoffs in the final game of the year.
But their quarterback was still better than Zach Wilson.
The Steelers last year.
I'm not saying he's Mike Tomlin.
No, okay, well.
And his defense, as good as it was not as good as Pittsburgh.
The whole AFC,
Tampa Bay,
the whole NFC South last
year. They had Zach freaking Wilson.
The Browns are a good example. Thank you, Ryan.
They had Joe Flacco, a Super Bowl winning
quarterback. Joe Flacco was on the Jets the year you're saying
and they let him go.
No, the year you're saying he won 7 games terrible quarterback play, Joe Flacco was there.
Last year, they won 7 games with terrible quarterback play. It's an incomplete. I can believe it.
I can't believe it.
They were a 4-win team when he got there.
And what were they his first year there? A 3-win team.
I'm not saying he's Vince Lombardi.
And then his first year there, they were a 3-win team. I'm just saying he had a horrible quarterback and beat 3 playoff teams.
No
one has ever gone to the matches like this for Bobby Saleh before. Nobody.
Strategically, the Joe Flacco thing was a mistake on your part. Yeah, just in the argument.
I appreciate you bringing up the Browns, Wilds. That was
when we review the tape, Allen, Burrow, Stroud, and Jalen Hurts.
You were trying to say it the way it should be, and instead it just.
Josh Allen. At the same time, Joe Burrow has got to be on.
You don't think Allen should be that high?
No.
He's gonna have to do more this year.
I guess
luck.
So. Then that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a little more on Josh Allen. Sorry. Brock Purdy not on the ground.
I'm surprised Brock wasn't.
I was going to say. Does Mahomes deserve to be the MVP favorite?
Yes. All right, and I'm going to kind of continue what we were just talking about. Humor me.
Sure.
If I'm a boxer and I'm a knockout artist boxer, I'm knocking everybody out. I'm Mike Tyson, right? Mm-hmm. And then I have several fights where I win, but they're decisions, I'm going the distance. I'm not hurting the guy. Sure, I'm winning, but it's not fun. It's not as fun as me knocking somebody's block off.
Love it.
And that's where Patrick Mahomes is at.
That's great too.
And that's what, if you have that ability, if you can average 30 a night and win, a la like a Michael Jordan, it's not going to be as fun averaging 21 a night and winning. You're still happy you're winning, but you want to be the best version of yourself. And that's why I think, look, Mahomes, even though they've won the last 2 Super Bowls, they have so much motivation because it wasn't as fun. They didn't have the great regular season they want to have. And then your star quarterback, you showed the graphic, career worst in just about everything. Mm-hmm. All right. And now you've given him 2 40-yard dash guys. Hollywood Brown and Xavier Worthy. I think it's going to be a light show. So he should definitely be the favorite for MVP because I think he's coming out I had 50 touchdowns my first year as a starter. I haven't done that since. I only have 41 time since then. So I think he's coming out to put up numbers, and I think he will.
So I'll add to that. What's a sneaky thing about Mahomes that you point out every time we see it, but I think because of how he handles